And we are back. Couch Company Podcast. I'm John. With me as always, Tyler.
Hello, I'm Tyler.
What's going on?
Not a lot. We've been talking for quite some time.
Yeah, we have been talking for quite some time. Some D&D stuff as we do.
Yeah.
Didn't want to bore the audience with the...
Yeah, we front-loaded all that off air this
We
time.
did, but now we're ready to really focus and hone in on what we have to talk
Episode
about.
159.
Is that where we're at?
I think so, yeah.
Is that a significant number?
No.
Oh, okay.
Next one is going to be 160. That's significant.
Why?
Multiple of 8.
And that's like design stuff, right?
Yeah.
So what is 160? That's just like really pixelated?
What do you mean?
I don't even know, dude. Like, why is 8 significant again?
Oh, just like an 8-pixel grid? That's just like kind of standard.
Well, I don't
now.
know. Like you just said, the number 8 is significant in design world. Is that because of pixels and stuff?
Yeah, like typically like font scaling and stuff like that is,
Like
is all gonna be
digital
like
design.
multiples of 4 and stuff. Yeah.
Specifically.
Yeah.
But not multiples of 2.
I mean, you could go with 2. That gets almost negligible depending on your screen size and things like that. 4 is typically like the
Sweet spot.
yeah
Okay.
for type, and then 8 is good for other stuff.
That's fascinating.
Yeah,
I saw you have
It's
a
all
book
right.
of design or something somewhere. Maybe it's upstairs.
I have some books of design behind me.
Yeah? You like
Yeah.
those books? Are they good?
Yeah, they're all right. They're pretty old. Like they're from college.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Were they like your college textbooks?
Some of them, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got like new version. It's kind of funny because I bought the newest version of this book, forgetting that I had, I don't know, like 5, 6, 7 editions behind it. Like I think I had edition like 4, and now they're on edition like 10 or 12.
Dang,
or something.
dude.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about Warhammer. I
Yeah.
had like 7th editions when I started. Now
Now they're
they're
on
like
10. Yeah.
Is it 10?
Yep.
Do you know that for a fact?
Yeah, it's a new one
How do you know that?
because I get around.
Yeah.
No, I watched a Henry Cavill
Oh,
interview and they
yeah.
asked about
You
10.
like that guy?
And he was like, I haven't played 10 yet.
Yeah. Was that recent though?
It's
feel like they're coming
recent
out-
enough. I feel like anytime he's on now, like they're talking about like, actually, I think they're always talking about Warhammer now because he's doing the Warhammer thing. So that's just an easy like, hey, you're a nerd, right?
Yeah. I love Henry Cavill, dude. He's
Yeah.
We still have to do top 5 like most relatable celebrities. I think it's a good list.
Oh,
Or down to earth celebrity, like whatever, however you want to phrase it.
perceived down to earth.
Well, I mean,
celebrities.
yeah, of course,
Sure.
perceived.
Yeah.
I would be shocked if he wasn't exactly like he is in his interviews and stuff.
Yeah, like I think the problem that I have with that, with like down to earth stuff, is like if you're that good looking, it's hard for me to take you seriously as like a down to earth person.
Sure.
Like I'm like, you can't possibly know how the world is. You're too pretty.
Yeah, I don't know, but he does a really good job of fooling me. If that's the case, dude. He seems like the most wholesome guy.
I think what I'm saying is I think it's easier to be wholesome when you're that pretty, you know? Like you can like,
Oh well, yeah, everything's easier when
Yeah.
you're. Yeah,
okay.
of
Well,
course.
that's what I'm saying.
But I don't know. I'm sure he has his own struggles.
oh yeah, as do we all.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like some people are that pretty and they're assholes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
sure.
I'm glad he's not.
No, he seems
At least he seems like he's not.
genuinely nice, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would love to see all the people that like, because like there was a quick burst of celebrities being like, oh, I play D&D, you know? Like,
Yeah.
Once it got like kind of cool or trendy or whatever.
Sure.
I would love to see a game of all that, and then very quickly you see who actually plays D&D
Yeah.
and who just says that they do.
Yeah, that's always
Yeah.
interesting.
Like the one, I forget her name, the redhead from Daredevil. She was in True Blood and stuff like that. Like she DMs.
Like actually?
Like actually,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
And she's pretty good. And then the other dude from True Blood, Manicello, is that right?
Dude, I don't know celebrity names.
I don't know, but he's like the one that actually has like an entire basement that's like straight up like,
Is that the dude with
D&D.
longer hair?
yeah.
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 I think I know who you're
Joe-
talking about.
Joe, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
So him, and then I think Henry Cavill would
He
be
was
there.
on like Colbert or something, and Colbert was asking him questions, and I was like, "Does Colbert know?" Like,
Colbert does the D&D thing.
yeah, but I think he was talking about stuff that was pretty out of date though in his line of
Oh,
questioning.
100%.
I was like, What edition is he talking about?
I talked to my mother. I mean, you were there whenever my mother-in-law started talking about it, and it's that's like so she's going from like she sent me her books, and it was like I think first or second edition stuff. Wow. Like it's like OG stuff. Actually, I think it had to have been first edition.
Yeah,
and it got to a point where like I was looking through that, I'm like, this is fascinating stuff, but like I don't like hear like I'm gonna like hurt these. They're so old. Like you take them back, but. No, they were cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like unrecognizable.
Yeah. But like that's kind of neat. Like if you want something novel, like go back to the well and kind of see what you can kind of dig up for like
yeah, no, I always have respect for people who like have played for that long cuz they have so many resources that they can pull from like old adventures and then you can like readapt them for the current edition or whatever. Mm-hmm. I think it's very interesting. And you can just get ideas for like maybe how some old systems worked and adapt them or whatever.
Imagine doing a game, and I know we just talked about D&D for like an hour and a half already, so we don't have to continue this, but like imagine doing like a Pro Bowl or like an All-Star D&D game, right? So like take all your favorite characters. So like, okay, like you grab Milo and Falk and, you know, whoever the guys that like Jeff and Ryan and Dwayne and Nate, like their favorite guy.
Yeah.
And it's just like they're all together. And it's like, here you go. This is like the greatest hits of everybody. They're all resurrected. They're all pulled from their different universes and they're dropped in this like fantastical homebrew, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, here you go. This is your thing. And then just like see how that goes. Because at least they like typically you like a character because you play well with them, you're into it,
right?
And it's like cool. And then there's no guesswork. There's no finding your character, finding your voice, doing whatever you want. It's like you know this guy inside and out. Like enjoy playing it.
Yeah, no, I think that'd be interesting.
If you get too cold too, let me know. We can close that window.
No, I'm okay. Okay. I think the only thing that I'd be concerned about is like you've had your time with that character. Sometimes it's good to try something new.
Oh, for sure.
It might become stale. I don't know. But it would be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
So what's going on?
Not much. I mean, what is going on? I actually have no idea. This week has been such a blur.
Yeah.
That I don't know.
How'd you do in fantasy football?
I think I won.
Congratulations.
Who did I play? Did I play you?
No.
Oh, okay.
How did you do? I played Landon, and I got just smoked. Dude, my entire team is dead.
Yeah.
Like, they're just on the bench.
They're all in the hospital.
Just D's and O's everywhere. And a couple IRs. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just... I'm playing Calvin this week, and, like, there's not a prayer. Like, it's not even close.
Dude, I lost 2 weeks because I didn't check my lineup, and people were out. And I would have won if I switched them twice.
I did that, but I wouldn't have won either way, so it made me feel a little better.
I was like hoping I would, lose by a lot, but no, of course, it's the exact amount. I wouldn't. Yep. So, you're punished, but what are you gonna do, man? I mean, it's just like that's fantasy football.
Yeah,
we live and die by it. I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna live. It's not worth it to me,
dude. I was watching this video of like OG fantasy football, like way back in the day when people used to do it like by pencil and paper.
Well, they did that episode on the league.
Yeah,
where he had to do it like pencil and paper, and it was just too much.
It's like there's something romantic about that, but also fuck that.
Yeah, you got to be good at math, and you have to trust the guy. Like, I wouldn't trust half of you.
No,
like why would I?
Of course not.
I wouldn't even trust me because I'm so bad at math. Like it's not.
You're bad at math?
A thing. Oh yeah, I'm not good at math. I'm good at geometry, not math.
Is that your worst subject?
Math?
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Really?
I would say so.
Worse than gym?
Yeah, it was pretty good gym.
You were good at gym?
Yeah, we didn't really have a very strict gym period.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was pretty mid-tier in gym class.
All right. Look, man, I made some assumptions, and I apologize for that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I get it.
I don't know.
That's fine.
Every time you go on a soccer trip, you hurt yourself.
Yeah, well, it's because I play to win.
That's what I'm saying, but like if you're injury prone, it's not a good thing.
There's a difference though. Like injury prone is I hurt myself and now I'm out for whatever.
Yeah.
Me, I'll just keep right now, like in my entire neck, I can't look that way without it hurting. Like still. It's like 2 weeks removed.
How?
I don't know. Like what do you mean? It's like
I don't know. How do you do that? I don't know.
I have a super stiff neck, but I'm not going to go to the doctor for it.
Well, yeah, you never go to the doctor for anything.
So I have two options. Either I suck it up and I just act like nothing's wrong, or I complain about it all the time.
Yeah. Those are options.
They're not good ones.
No.
Yeah.
What have you been up to?
Not a lot, man.
Yeah.
Just babying and working,
Yeah.
playing some games. Got some games. In
Yeah,
there.
we got a lot of games to talk
Yeah.
about. So you want
Is
to?
that where you want to start?
I mean, let's do it.
All right.
You want to
You
start?
seem. I mean, you're holding your forehead. You're exasperated.
I'm looking down at the list
All right.
of games that we have to talk about.
Cat Quest 3 is very good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it might be your favorite game of all time.
It's decidedly not.
Okay.
But I think it's
the
better.
way you were talking about it, dude. I don't know.
If you have a choice
Sure.
between The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening or The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom or Cat Quest 3.
Mm-hmm.
Cat Quest 3 is going to be more respectful of your time. It's going to make you laugh and cry. It's going to be as challenging as you want it to be. Gives you a new game plus, even if you want to.
That's fancy.
Keep going, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It lets you build your character how you want to build. You want to be a mage user. You want to be a swashbuckling cat. You want to be just like really good on the seas.
Yep.
All that stuff. You can do that. It has collectibles. It tells you how many collectibles on every continent. You can go to each continent and make sure you do everything. So it checks that box off for me. It's just a very well-made, well-polished game. Plenty of secrets, plenty of little puns, and like the puns. There's like a fine line, right? Like there's like, oh, that was punny. Like that was a funny little thing.
Yeah.
And there's like, holy cow, every single line in this dialogue is a pun.
Yeah.
And like whatever beyond that is what Cat Quest 3 is. Like
More
it's
than that?
It's so punny that it like you start out funny and then it's like this is annoying as all heck.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, this is just how they talk. And the way that I got around that was like, well, these are cats and rats.
Oh, there's rats involved?
Well, they're the bad guys.
Wow.
They're
depending on who you ask.
They're pirates.
Pirates?
It's a pirate game, and they're pirates. So as they call themselves pirates, there's a hyphen. So P-I hyphen rat.
I was thinking rats.
Well, now
that
you
eat
understand.
pie.
Yeah, now you understand the
But
puns.
no, but they're rats.
They don't eat pies.
No,
there's
they're
no
rats
pies.
that sail the seven seas.
Yeah.
That are outside the jurisdiction of any government.
Yeah. I mean, like they're factions. They're factions.
Yeah, but I think that's what a pirate is, right?
Yeah, but there's the pirate faction. There's the swine faction. So there are pigs there too, like boars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Are they good or bad?
They're native things. So here's the thing: everyone's neither.
What's
good
the
or,
lore of this world? Is it complicated?
It's not super complicated because it's pretty much like all the different factions. They're all shades of gray, and it's like it's one of those types of games where like at the end of the game, everyone just kind of realizes everyone has differences, and we can all just get along if we do.
It was the friends we made along the way.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Sure.
But here's the cool thing.
Okay.
I didn't realize this. So Cat Quest 3 obviously is third in the game. And each game is like slightly different and has different things, and they're all like time travelers and they're all going after things. But in each game, there's like the overseeing human kind of weird ethereal plane whatever.
Okay.
And apparently, because I only played the first one, I played this third one. I never played the second one, so I'm assuming the second one has this too.
Okay.
But there are these like relics, right?
Yeah.
And at the end of each of the games, the humans get this relic from the cats or from the thing.
Yeah.
And this is the third game and the third relic. So at the end of the game, they're like, well, whatever, we got the relic. Now we start the apocalypse. And you're like what?
What?
Yeah. So now these three games that are not necessarily connected to each other, except like very like just like little Easter eggs and nods and stuff, you find out are building up to this like apocalyptic thing. So like assuming the next game is like, okay, well this is the payoff of these three games that like, it's bizarre. Like they're talking like, oh, in this timeline, did I meet you already? Did I do that? Like they're talking like weird kind of like quantum theory things and stuff. It's wild.
So this is a game about cats.
I know.
What the fuck?
But it's real good. It's really funny. It's really like all the characters are really interesting and like it's snappy. Like it's really quick. It's really, you talk through stuff. Like there's so many, like you get all these spells and these weapons and these things and everything does something different. You can upgrade them and do different things and stuff. Like I'm wearing a shield that like you literally use a shield as a weapon.
Yeah.
And every time I deflect, gold coins shoot out of it.
Right.
And which is cool.
Yeah.
And then I'm wearing a gold vest that gets me 20% more gold.
Oh,
so it's kind of stacks.
Yeah.
And then I'm wearing a gold helmet that my damage is directly tied to how much gold I'm carrying at a given time.
Yep.
And it was a really hard set of armor to get.
Yep.
It was in the gold tower.
That
which
makes
you had to find
sense.
5 keys throughout the different continents and bring them all together and go different floors. And it was a whole thing. And I did all that.
Okay.
And I feel pretty badass. And there's literally like an infinity tower. That's what it's called. And you just
keep
make
going.
your character and build it up as high as you can. See how deep you can go into hell. It was wild, man. It's a really cool game.
It sounds like an experience.
It's really, really cool. And I was telling you, like music wise, like it's like you have like this jaunty pirate thing. I would say that the theme song gets a little old because it's kind of like the same song more or less like throughout this entire thing.
Okay.
But then you hop on your ship and like the music almost like pulls back and gets a little bit more orchestral and more like majestic as you're sailing around and stuff.
Yeah.
And you have to like, there's like bounties you have to go after and stuff. And you can go back to the tavern and like put in all the different bounties and stuff. And as you keep going up and it's like, oh, you got the Pirate King. Good job. You killed him. And it's like, well, now there's a ducky and you just see this giant, like rubber ducky.
Yeah.
Just a giant rubber ducky sailing around the seas, which is like calling in like a hammer of dawns on you and stuff whenever you get near it. If you kill that, then the tavern lady's like, oh, thanks. You did a really great job. Thanks for clearing all the seas. Oh, by the way, go kill Cthulhu. And then there's a whole other section of the map that you finally go to, and it just Cthulhu pops out, and you have to go kill that thing. It's really cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wasn't this game like a purple on OpenCritic?
Yeah, I got like an 83, something like that. Yeah,
It's better than that.
I played it in 85, so I think it's a very B game. Like look, I don't know what else you could do in that game to make it better than it is. It is very much like, hey, this is what it set out to do.
Yeah,
it did it all.
Well, what's stopping it from being an A game?
To be honest, that's a great question. I think it's just like it's very the story is very small. I think like it's cool that it ties into the other games. It's cool it has like little hints and stuff like that. But like generally speaking, it's not like the most like you have all these friends and stuff. It's like it's more jokes and things. So I don't think it's necessarily taking itself too seriously. And like that's not necessarily a bad thing. But I don't think it's like gonna stick with me as like God of War. You know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh, this like I think about this at night or something. I think it was just a really solid B game that's like, hey, this is if you want just a video game, this is the one to play.
Okay.
Because like Zelda's not big on story, like I think it kind of has more story than Zelda, if I'm being honest, and it's quicker and faster, and you're constantly in the action, you're doing things, and like it's better. I don't know, like it's I guess less puzzles maybe, like, but other than that, I don't know. It's good.
Yeah, but it's B.
It's B. Like, yeah, like, sure. If I had to do something, I think a bigger story, I think other characters that maybe had some sort of like more dialogue options or something like that could be added to make things a little bit more interesting. Maybe you could align with certain pirate factions and kind of do like a Star Wars Outlaws type of thing where it's like, okay, if you screw one over, they get angry and then maybe they attack you on sight on the seas or something like that. You can maybe build that system out. You could add more elaborate dungeons or something like that. That's not just like kind of very linear, like hit this switch and now this is open. Like it's just like you can get through stuff very quickly. It's very respectful of your time in that regard, but it's not like very difficult, I guess, so to speak. So I think all that could get maybe like increased.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's necessarily what that game is. I don't know.
Some games are just built to be B games, I guess.
Well, that's what I mean. Like it's hitting everything that it's supposed to be hitting,
yeah,
but it's not like reaching for that like you can't put it on the same level as like Baldur's Gate. It's just not like, it's not going to be there. It's not going to be God of War. It's not going to be, that level. It's just it does what it's been doing for the past 2 games very well. I think it's very polished and I think it's good. It's just not like great. I
Yeah.
guess. I should say it's great because it is 85. I could consider that a great game, but it's not like a superb game, I guess, if we want to get technical.
I gotcha. Yeah, it's hard to, I don't know. I guess like certain games kind of just have ceilings based on how they're constructed.
Yeah.
But it's tough because it's like, if you're doing everything that you can possibly do, like the games can't be any better in terms of what you set out to do. Like, how do you score that? You know what I mean?
Like the other ones didn't have really puzzles, right? Like they have a couple like hidden clues. You can find hidden things here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Think almost, like Castle Crashers, how Castle Crashers had some hidden things that if you knew, you knew. Like that's the level that they're at.
Right.
So take it or leave it. I don't know. Like it's very good. It's just I'm not going to be like laying in bed being like, oh, I can't believe, like, yeah, I did Quantum Theory, but it's not like it's not like BioShock Infinite, like it's not like I'm like researching it, 3 a.m.
It's a good game.
Yeah.
Notice how all the examples you give are all AAA games though.
100%.
What's up with that?
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, so you're just saying AAA games are inherently better?
No, I'm just saying there are certain games that stick with you that, they do stuff. Like I think, like Satisfactory is a indie game that I gave a 95 to, but that's because it's like, it did everything that it was supposed to do, and then it's like, as you see, and granted, it's been in early access for like years and years and years, so they had plenty of time to. But when you see where it kind of, what is the bar, like what's the baseline? Okay, now what does it do beyond that to kind of break into that next level of fame, stardom, whatever you want to call it, like from a rating standpoint,
right?
And I think Satisfactory did that. I don't, and that's apples and oranges. I just think this game is like, it's the same game. It's just a very well made one of those.
Yeah.
Like even Hades, if Hades didn't have the replayability or the story or, like that kind of thing, like it was a really tight game. Yeah. That's cool.
Right.
But Hades brings a lot of extra stuff that no one else has done to the table. And then you have, I think it's not God, maybe it's Gods Among Us. I don't know, something like that, like Gods of something. Which was very Hades-like, but it didn't really have that kind of Hades loop of, oh, you're meant to die and progress the story and do that kind of stuff. Like it didn't do it the same way. So like, there's a reason why one's like an 8 and one's a 10. Like that's the difference in my mind, anyway.
Just those extra factors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'm glad you liked Cat Quest 3, man.
It was just fun.
And I'm glad you're going to war with all the Zelda fans.
Come at me, bro. Look, you pull whatever you want from, like, Zelda has its dungeons. I will give you that. And Zelda goes from A Link's Awakening, which is just this like super obtuse, like just weird game design stuff, which I'm sure is cool on a Game Boy back in the day. And then you go for Echoes of Wisdom, which is a kiddie game. Like just base, like it's not, there's no puzzles with that one, like at all. At least that I've come across.
Mm-hmm.
There's no middle ground there, right? So it's just like, beyond that, I don't know what either of those games do better than Cat Quest 3.
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
I haven't played Cat Quest 3.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm not, right. Cat Quest 3 is a perfect example of like, I played it, I liked it. I'm not going to tell you, hey, drop what you're doing and play this game.
Yeah.
Like that's reserved for like Astrobot.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
My list is getting pretty full.
As much as I want you to play it just to like get your take on some stuff, it's not, that doesn't crack into the...
No, I got to prioritize. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
No. Yeah. Cat Quest
3.
3.
So 85 I think is what I gave that one. That's on
it's
the
a solid
system.
score.
Yeah.
It's one away from gold.
I couldn't put it in gold. That's why it's 85. I really liked it.
Yeah.
I just couldn't put it all the way up there.
Yeah. That's fair. I mean, not everything can be gold, man.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need silvers so that you can have golds.
Yeah, you need to have some sort of a standard.
Baseline. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah. I played it at the same level as what was the tower defense game?
Orcs Must Die.
Nikki Sneaky.
Yeah.
The
no, I know you were telling
Japan one.
Yeah, you were telling me about that one.
I think I put those on the same level.
Yeah, you didn't tell me to play that one though, did you?
No, it's good.
You told me to play Shogun Showdown.
Yes, it's you know what? That's a perfect example. Shogun Showdown does a lot of things that other games are doing.
Yeah,
but they just add their own little twist that I haven't seen before.
Yeah.
They do it in a very good way that always feels rewarding. It's like that's what puts it over the top, is like an iteration that pushes it in a positive direction.
Right.
That is typically, now the problem is they've done that. So now Shogun Showdown 2, when that comes out, they are up against themselves, so to speak. And I think you see this with Zelda. I think for Tears of the Kingdom, I think you see that with Ragnarok, where, and again, that's personal for me because I know you like the second one, I think, more than the first, right?
They're pretty close, but yeah.
But I think once you see that, then it's like, okay, well, the novelty is really a huge factor in a lot of that stuff.
Right.
Where it's very, very tough to kind of go beyond that.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. You already saw.
Like you make your giant splash, and while the follow-ups are good, it's not going to be like...
You'll never recapture that initial feeling.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I think Hades 2 is going to be... Like, I haven't played Hades 2 yet.
Me neither.
I think that's going to be very interesting to see, like, where does that land when it, like, 1.0 releases? How is that received? What kind of award... Like, what's the score on it and stuff? Does it hit the heights of Hades 1?
Yeah. Right.
So, yeah.
No, it's not easy. So, well, speaking of sequels, I finished Yakuza 8. I think it's the eighth one. Yeah, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, which came out in February.
Yeah,
but to be fair, I didn't start playing it until like June. Well, Jeff always makes fun of me because I keep telling him that I'm playing it still.
Yeah,
first of all, it's like a 100-hour game.
Yeah.
Second of all,
how much time did you put into it?
I don't know. I think like 65 to 70 hours or something.
Yeah, I mean that's more than respectable.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to check, but there's a lot, and I didn't do a lot of stuff. Yeah. Well, I tried to touch on everything, but there's like a
you rolled credits on it though.
Yeah,
yeah.
There's like a Animal Crossing island that you like build a society and stuff and like clean up this island. And I did like no time in that. Like I did the tutorial because you have to. And then I was like, I don't have time for this.
Yep.
But like you can sink so much time into this game. There's so much content into it. So it's my first Yakuza game ever. And I wish I played the last. I think the last one was a good starting place because they introduced like the new character.
Yeah.
And that would have been a good point to jump in. But jumping in on this game, like, I think my experience kind of was set back a little bit just because there's a lot of references to previous games and previous characters and stuff that I have no idea who anyone is at all. Right. And they like try to explain things, but obviously it's just not going to hit the same way. Because you didn't go through. I could only imagine someone who's played like every single one of these games. They'd probably just love. I mean, they just love these games. Yeah. I could totally see it because I think they do a good job of like the callbacks and like, you know, bringing older characters in, and not just as like a cameo, but having them like it makes sense and have a place in the story, even if it's just like a small part of it or whatever. Some are better than others. Like there's a lot of side quests with old characters and it's just funny how they shoehorn them in, but the game's just so ridiculous that anything goes. So it's like, it's not like,
how's the combat? Cause this one is, turn-based.
Yeah. Well, again, I have nothing to compare it to.
Yeah.
So I get like, I knew that the other ones weren't, so it's different, but I didn't play the old ones. So I don't know like that.
Well, I would say, I mean, from a turn-based standpoint, like, you know, you played other, like, Persona.
Yeah, sure.
Like, is it challenging? Is it...
No, I really like the combat system a lot because I'm always looking for... I like the turn-based, but the biggest issue turn-based obviously runs into is that it's a pretty dated system and it's easy for it to feel stale when you're just taking turns going back and forth and hitting, you know, people and... It becomes very stat checky, I think. And like, if you're just not a high enough level, it's hard to outplay people in turn-based games, right? In my opinion, because it's like
less twitchy and
but it's like, you can do debuffs and stuff, but ultimately I think it comes down to like what stats you have and things of this nature, which any game at some point does come down to that, but I think there's a little bit more tactical elements to this. So you can move around a little bit, position yourself. You can knock people into things. You can use environmental objects. There's combo attacks that you have, so you can set up near other people. Obviously, there's status effects. There's weaknesses, so there's that element put into it too. But it does I like when games evolve on the standard turn-based system, and like Grandia, for example, I think does an amazing job of that, where it's it's not your typical turn-based. There's like a 3D element to it where you can position yourself and you're based what moves you're doing influence what's happening, and you can have a tactical element. So it does that really well. So I really like the combat. I think it's interesting, and I think it does a really good job of introducing new elements to it as you progress. And I think this game does a really good job of tying a lot of the various elements of the game into each other. So, for example, you have your bonds with your squad mates, or whatever. So you get that's how you kind of understand the background of these characters. Like the more you do things, the more that level goes up, and then every 10 levels, you get like a little conversation with them when you go back to your headquarters. And once you finish that conversation, they get a boost in battle. So that's how you get your combo attacks. That's how you get your follow-up. So if you knock someone down, they have a chance to run over and hit them for more damage or whatever. And it's really creative, like how they do that. There's also speaking of the bonds, there's like a bingo thing that you do. So as you're exploring the different environments, you'll come across these conversations. So let's say you're near like an ice cream shop. One of the characters is going to talk about how ice cream's like their favorite whatever, and have like a funny anecdote. And then you cross that off on your bingo sheet. And once you get
this game?
Once you get a row, you get like a huge bonus to their bond.
Okay.
So it's a clever way of exploring the city, learning about the character.
Do you know where you need to go to
yes.
Okay.
It's all marked on the map.
I gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah.
But there are some spur of the moment conversations that the whole party has sometimes. And they're really well done. They're funny, and it's good character building. It's just a really clever, no game does that. You're literally playing bingo.
Right.
What is happening? So it's really funny.
Yeah.
It's just, there's so many things. I talked about this previously, but there's a Pokemon element to it.
Homeless people.
Yeah. You defeat enemies, and there's a chance that you can capture them as one of your Pokemon. You don't capture them, but you ask them to join your team.
Yeah.
And there's this underground Pokemon league where these kind of delinquents battle each other. And it seems
just so bad. Is it all homeless people, or is
no?
it just
It's not all homeless people, but it's criminals and homeless people. And
okay, all right.
I don't know. Just
I was that seems like a not politically correct thing to do.
No, I shouldn't. Some of them are definitely homeless people.
I gotcha.
I mean, some of them are just in sleeping bags, and they use it as it's like a cocoon. And they use it. It's like what's the Pokemon? Metapod.
Yeah,
and they have Harden.
Yep.
Yeah, whatever. But
oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. All right. It's a weird game, dude. It's funny. I don't know. It's fuck it. I think it's hilarious.
Sure.
But it's just stuff like that where it's just what is how's
the storyline? I know there's the main storyline.
So
do you think it pays off? It's
the
good.
The storyline is actually one of the weaker parts of the game, in my opinion.
Okay.
I think it's I had kind of a hard time following what was going on. And again, a lot of it's tied to the previous game. So I think, well, maybe I'm just stupid, but which is definitely possible. But I think a lot of it's tied to the previous game. And I was wasn't sure what was going on. There's a cult, and there's
oh, okay.
There's obviously Yakuza are kind of involved and stuff. But I thought it was one of the weaker points of the game. I didn't find myself caring about the story too much, honestly, and I didn't think it was that amazing. I think the strong points of the game are the characters. I think the characters are pretty well done. I think they're really well voice acted specifically, and I think they're all unique. They have unique attributes and personalities. So I liked that a lot. I liked having those conversations and stuff. I mean, you know me, that's always one of my favorite parts. So yeah, that's one of my favorite. I just think they're really creative in how they do the RPG elements, how you, I was talking about with the bonds. I love the job system that they do. There's all these wacky classes, homeless guy's a class, chef's a class, breakdancer, surfer, ninja, all this
all
stuff.
the classes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, dude, it's I don't know. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Hostess.
Sure.
is a class. What? I don't know, dude. It's just it's just interesting.
So I guess, is it from were you sad that it was over? Or did you get like, oh, hey, okay.
No,
like,
I was fulfilled. I was like,
good.
I felt good. I think I wish I had a little bit more time to like maybe there's like some extra content. I really do like it, which was surprising me because, I'm usually like a story first characters kind of guy. And I do like the characters, but I really enjoy the gameplay, whereas like everyone can do certain classes and then you can carry abilities over from other classes. So you get these really interesting combinations that you start developing and strategies. And I was getting really into that and kind of adapting to like who is good at what job or whatever and doing things like that. So yeah, I don't know. I think that was really cool. Yeah, it's just those little things that I really like. Like to get health back, you can go to restaurants, but every restaurant, they have like a menu and there are certain combinations where you get a bonus, and the title of it will give you like a hint. So like maybe the title is like meat, exclamation point or something. That's
okay.
Not one of them, but like, and then it's like, oh, okay. Like if I do the steak and then the chicken and then the whatever, and then it'll give like, I get an attack boost or something. Yeah. I don't know. It's just stupid. Like I really enjoy when game designers put little things like that where it's like, okay, like getting your health back is usually not interesting. Like what can we do to make it a little bit more interesting
or worth it to even interact with that system at all? Yeah.
Yeah. Like how many games like do that sort of thing? Like Unicorn Overlord has a system like that where you can get a meal with everyone, right? And I think that's like how you increase your bonds.
Four Houses does it, and then I think about Three Houses. Yeah, I should play that game. There's a mystery fourth house, and
there is in the DLC.
Is there?
I think so.
Oh, let's see. I know things. Yeah. And then Monster Hunter does it.
Yeah,
where it's like, obviously you want that, but
so it's like, I don't know, it's cool, and it does this little bonus thing of like, so you're in Hawaii, but you also go to Japan too. There's like all these dishes in Japan. They have like descriptions. Yeah, it's kind of cool, like culturally.
Star Wars Galaxies also does all that. That's pretty good,
but that's not real.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think that's cool too. Like the world, incorporating the world into the game. But
so score wise, where's it sitting at? There?
Yeah, so
like,
I don't know.
Do you think about it? Like, do you think about it when you're not playing it? Like, does it permeate the subconscious?
Yeah. So this is a really tough one for me to grade because I'm really on the cusp between two scores. It's tough for me personally because I don't have that attachment, even though I really enjoyed my time with it. Mm-hmm. But I can see why people are so in love with this series at the same time, because the characters are so endearing, because there's just so much to do. Like you can play darts, you can play poker. I learned how to play shogi.
Sure.
Why? I don't know, but I spent an hour doing that.
Some real world help.
It's crazy, dude. Like there's so many freaking activities. You can go gambling, but it's like Japanese gambling. It's not like I don't know any of the games, so I'm learning how to do that. Yep. Like it's teaching me some real bad habits if I ever go to Japan.
I was going to say, you're going to go to Japan someday, and then that's...
Be ready to go on the underground gambling. Yeah, so I don't know. So I think... And that's why it's tough, because like personally, was I as attached? No. But I see it. I see it. I understand it. So I generally tend to err on the side of respect for the games, which is a little higher than... maybe I personally would give. So I was going to give it an 86. Because I believe it earns its gold status because of just how much love is put into the game. It really, there's a reason other games are like compared to Yakuza. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, I know that like, for example, when people were describing the latest Final Fantasy, like the Final Fantasy VII Remake or the... whatever. Rebirth. Yeah. They were like, it's very Yakuza-esque.
Yeah.
In terms, because there's so many mini games and the silliness of it.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason that's what it's compared to, because like the game does it better than any other game, in my opinion. There's just so much to do, and it feels like a lived in world, I guess, in terms of like the variety and whatever, like that kind of stuff that you can do. So
Yeah.
I feel good about an 86. I think it deserves a gold. It was either between an 85 or an 86. Like I think personally, it's like a silver, like a very high silver for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to respect the franchise because I do see the vision, and I do see like if I played the previous games, it'd be even higher. I would imagine. Like I understand why it has such. I don't even want to say a cult following, but such a following. Yeah. But
so 1 point higher than Cat Quest 3.
Yeah, I think it's a better game than Cat Quest 3. I haven't played Cat Quest 3. It doesn't have any like
But that's a perfect example of like you can't compare the two.
Yeah.
It's like, what did the game set out to do? How well did it execute on it? And what was, like, what you said is, like, what is the ceiling? Like, what could it, like, accomplish if it hit on every single thing it was trying to do? Like
I think it has something for everyone. Like, I think if you got to the island, I think there's a chance you'd really connect or vibe with that, and you would really create your island and customize it, and I could see you getting into that and pouring a lot of hours into that. Yeah. Now, that's not my thing, and I didn't do that. Mm-hmm. But there's other things that I really liked doing. Like, I played poker for so much time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it was just fun.
Well, that's what I told you in Star Wars Outlaws.
Exactly.
I was playing Sabacc half the time.
Yeah.
Like, most of my hours in that game is sitting at a table trying to beat a cheating alien.
And it was cool because, like, I told you this where I played poker really early on.
Yeah.
And I got this weapon there's no way I should have got, but it's because I did really well at poker.
Yeah.
And I just love that when you have those kind of experiences in games. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. You got another one? You want to go through
Dragon's Dogma? I'm back and forth on if I should rate this because I didn't finish it.
Okay.
And typically I finish all the games I set out to do. So this is a rare circumstance in which I didn't just because I just couldn't.
Do we take it off of our like official list?
I mean, there's a possibility. Game? I mean, I'm gonna tell you what I would rate it.
Okay.
With the caveat that I didn't finish it. But I just don't, and we've talked about this, obviously, previously. I don't understand how people like this game. Now, anytime I listen to someone talk about this game, they are upfront in the fact that, at least the videos I've seen, is that this game is not for everyone. Mm-hmm. It's a very, like, you're either going to love it or hate it kind of game, which is like, hey, fair enough. But I just don't understand why people love this game.
Right.
I don't get it because it seems super outdated. The visuals aren't anything impressive.
I think so. And this is where you and I disagree. I think the lighting is very good. Personally.
Yeah, okay.
Like the textures,
I guess,
the models and
I guess when people say that the visuals are good, they're more talking about like the, when you're overlooking the landscape, maybe like the more pulled back. But if you're looking at the character models or like,
I put it on the same level as like an Elden Ring. Or like a Souls where it's like, or a Souls game where it's like not. I don't think a lot of like the design is cool and the lighting is there, but like the models are not. I don't think that good, or the texture work is not as good as some other games in the universe.
I think that's fair, and you're more keen to the visual.
I have my opinions.
Aspects
I
of games.
Right or wrong.
I don't know. Just looking at it from my perspective, especially compared to what has been coming out, it's not super impressive to me personally. But even disregarding that, it's just like I understand the point of it. No hand holding, very old school. But it's like, dude, I feel so lost. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like as a new player to the series too, it's like. Nothing is explained, really. I mean, they touch on like the what do they even call them? Not echoes, but like
I forget.
You know what I mean? But like there's like these people that you summon.
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't know, they're supposed to just follow you around or whatever. And I was talking to you about this in the car the other day where it's like there's no attachment to any of them. Mm-hmm. There's like they're disposable and you're just getting new ones constantly. And so like I don't care about my team or whatever. They say the same voice lines every 2 seconds. It's like so infuriating, actually. The combat doesn't feel well to me at all. And maybe I'm just not playing it correctly, but like...
Dude, I restart that game every time, start every class, and it just doesn't... Like, there are things where it's like, I don't get Elden Ring either. Like, I personally cannot grab the fun out of it, but I see it, right? Like, I get it where it's like, oh, the exploration and that doesn't hold your hand either, but it's still like kind of nudges you in certain ways. You can kind of explore and see and like get rewarded if you can kind of like stay alive. And that I still understand the appeal for Elden Ring, where this game is just baffling to me, where it's like not for everyone, or oh, it doesn't hold your hand. Like there are certain things that are just like, okay, I hear what you're saying, but like that doesn't necessarily excuse things where it's like if you kill something too quickly while the game's trying to tell you what a system is within the game, like even the brief tutorials that it tries to do. I've played that intro multiple times, and if you wait, it will give you a prompt saying, oh, this is how you do XYZ. Otherwise, it just doesn't say anything. And then you don't know what you're supposed to do. Like, it's very poorly... I just straight up... It's poorly designed in that way. Like, it's not doing a good job of explaining certain things that are, like, pretty critical, especially early on. So, I don't know. It's... People enjoy it. Great. I think that it shouldn't just get a pass due to like nostalgia or something to that effect.
Yeah. My experience, if I had to sum it up in one word, is lost. I was just lost the entire time. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know how to do anything.
Yep.
I didn't know why I should care about anything. I don't know. I just felt so lost and so bored. I just didn't have any fun with it, man. And like you said, I mean, if people love the game, that's great.
When did Starfield come out? That was last year?
Yeah, which is also not on our Notion board. I was literally looking for that today.
Yeah. Is it not?
I couldn't find it. Maybe I overlooked it. I couldn't find it. I don't remember what we rated it.
Neither do I. We'll go back and find out.
But yeah, I think subconsciously, maybe that's why I was looking for it.
I'm just saying, like, I don't think...
I like Starfield better than this game.
So do I. But like, from a disappointment factor, I think if it wasn't for Starfield, this would be my most disappointing game in a while. Like, people were hyping it so
They were,
much.
but I think we were talking about it. We're like, I don't know, man. But then I think we did get hyped, so maybe it was a similar Starfield.
Well, I was looking at some of the combat and stuff, and like, oh, this actually looks cool. But then when you play it, it feels like sluggish or bad. Or like it just
I don't know. So, I mean, for me, dude, and again, maybe this shouldn't count. We can talk about that, but I'm like at a 66.
I had a 65, so that's
if I can't finish the game, dude, I can't give it a high score. Yeah. You know, like I just couldn't.
I was good. Like I actually have it set as you because I put a 65 in just to nod that I played it.
I haven't put nearly enough time into it. I don't, and we can talk about that.
I mean, we can kill it from the official record, but I put it in there. But then I still put you as the sole reviewer of it because I'm like, I have zero. I
don't think I have much more than you. So it's So that was a tough one to get through.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Tell me about something good. Tell me about.
Oh no,
Wizards Tactical.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I was like, oh, you're going to talk about Tekken, aren't you? Did you play Tekken?
Nah, I didn't get to it. But you can tell me. I don't mind.
Boy, that's a waste of.
You want to talk about Tekken first?
I just wanted to say that.
All right.
Yeah, because we're in the negative aspect, and we'll go.
It's a waste of time.
It's a huge waste of time.
I played Eddie's little section.
So you got to the Nina?
To the Nina fight. But there was like a lot of flashback stuff, and I thought you'd like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but it doesn't do anything.
Well, you really like that.
They don't explain it.
Yeah, but you like that during the main story. That's the stuff you liked.
No. I liked the one thing.
In
the current game engine.
All right.
Where like it's a little lazy. I'm just saying it's a little lazy. Like if you're gonna do that. Like, don't just pull screens from Tekken 3. Just model them.
But don't you remember Tekken 3, man?
Yeah, I remember them. And look, you hit that nostalgia. There's a big difference when Jin, you hear his old music going, he does the thing in the current game engine, looks badass, and then switches his fighting stance. Yeah. That is completely different than just recycling old screenshots from a 20-year-old game.
All right.
So, that aside, Heihachi's alive, and it was just like, oh, as he was thrown into the lava, spoilers, so if you don't want to know how Heihachi lives, fast forward 30 seconds.
Yeah.
As he was thrown into the lava, a monk teleports, catches him, and carries him to safety. Oh, also he has amnesia.
I mean, that's on brand, dude.
Yeah.
That's on brand for Tekken. That seems like the most Tekken thing they could have done.
He has amnesia.
Yeah.
He looks up into the sky,
Okay.
sees a meteor coming down,
Naturally.
punches the meteor,
Oh, yeah.
and then headbutts it and blows the meteor up.
Okay.
And then he regains his memories, kills all of the Tekken monks,
Look, I'll tell you this, okay?
and crushes Lydia, Yoshimitsu, and Eddie. I don't know why Yoshimitsu's in there. Probably because maybe he was going to be a DLC character at some point, or they just didn't give enough love in the first story or something.
What do you mean he's going to be a DLC character?
I don't know. I'm saying I don't know why he's there. Like, Eddie and Lydia are there because it's like, okay, play as them and get like a quick feel for them. Don't know why Yoshimitsu's part of this.
Because he's part of the gang.
I guess. Sure.
It's important.
Sure.
He talks really funny.
Yeah. Well, he's a ninja from space.
Yeah, but like, I thought he was just doing like a thing.
Yeah.
But no, that's how he talks.
Yeah. 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 I don't know. But it's
crazy.
Heihachi kills everybody. And then he's back. And
He's
like,
back, dude.
He's
you
like,
should be jazzed.
I'm going to get Kazuya.
Yeah. Well, is that his name? Kazuya?
Kazuya?
Kazuya, it's like Banjo-Kazooie.
So here's the thing. Tekken 1.
Yeah.
It says Kazuya Mishima.
Oh, okay.
So
hey, I don't know.
But
I
it
don't
said
know.
Kazuya Mishima, but most people say
Kazuya.
Mishima now. So it's like
Mishima.
the Mishima. So I've heard it both ways.
Dude, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just
Anyway,
trying to
that's,
hang on to this whole Tekken. I'm very new to it
Yeah.
still.
Yeah.
Dude, when you explained the whole lore to me, I was in.
But how funny is it that like Eddie and Nina do their thing and they all tit-a-tat, whatever.
Yeah.
And then she just like jumps off the skyscraper thing.
Yeah. She's like, I
And
got
you're
what
like,
I needed.
yeah, and she leaves.
Yeah.
And then she comes back with a helicopter and just a bunch of jacks with like bombs. And he's like, oh, by the way, I'm going to kill you now.
Yeah.
Like,
that seems like Nina, though. That's very on brand.
But it's hilarious. And I thought of you immediately. I was like, I can't wait for you to see that.
She's the best, dude. She's the best.
Yeah.
I love Nina.
But my biggest issue with the episode is it's not like, I assume it went for you too, where like if you're in heat, like heat mode, you can do your heat burst multiple times. There's slow-mo things
dude,
and things like it.
It doesn't matter to me because it's so easy.
Right.
Even if you put it on hard mode, dude,
Yeah.
they don't punish you. They don't do anything. Like,
Right.
After fighting you, it's like,
Well, it's anyone with a brain.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, this is cake.
Yeah. But it's not a true
You're just getting
representation
through
of
it.
the character. I think that's the thing that I'm upset about. Is
Yeah, you want to.
I have all the characters. I know what they are. But
Yeah.
like, if I just spam one button and I can do like this crazy combo with Lydia, that's
Yeah,
not how
right.
Lydia plays.
Right.
And that's a little bit of a false advertising thing where it's like, oh crap, I'm really good with her. I'm going to go buy her.
Yep.
You buy her and then you realize, oh, wait a minute. None of this is correct. And it's the same thing with Heihachi. Oh, I turn into Mega Heihachi and I can do 25 moves all at the same time and just blow this person away. That's not him. He's one of the hardest characters to play, apparently.
Yeah.
So it's a little misleading, I would say.
Yep.
I don't think it's worth the time, but Heihachi's cool as shit. Like, it's real good. Like,
I'm glad he's back, dude.
Yeah.
I wish we were there when they revealed it. That would have been an all timer.
Dude, I would have been.
Oh, you would have.
I was geeking out pretty hard just in that. Yeah.
Daydreams about we would have been hugging each other.
Dude, well, even the announcers were like, wait a minute.
Everyone,
Yeah, like
dude. It was
that
perfect
awesome.
timing.
Well, that's because everyone thought they knew who was coming. It's like, oh, okay, Marduk's next, whatever.
I love when we can still get surprised.
Yep.
In a world where everything's leaked.
Yeah.
And there's no surprises. Like, I would get hyped for all the Smash reveals when they were wrong about who was coming.
Yep.
I love when that happens.
Yeah.
And so, it makes you think: is there fake leaks sometimes?
Oh yeah.
I love that. The mind games, man. The mind games, love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the negative. Unfortunately,
it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
I also, I don't know if we talked about it, but like you have to pay $5 for that stage, which is also crazy.
Stupid.
I played the stage. Not worth it.
Yeah.
I'm not
Beach
paying,
stage
I'm not
is
paying
cooler.
Beach stage is infinitely cooler.
Because it has day and night and
dude,
sunsets.
you literally get covered in sand as you're fighting. Like, that's sick.
That's free.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
Yep.
Yeah, they're very hit or miss. They do some good things and then they'll do some bad things.
Harada's already like, he apologized and was like, oh, I'm going to step down from being this side of things, or I'm going to do. He was saying that he was a lot of tweeting.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I haven't been keeping up with that.
Yeah.
I like Harada.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah. I don't know.
Anyway, so that's kind of hit or miss, but
Yeah.
I really want to play Heihachi and fight you and just kind of see where he's at.
Yeah.
But I put on there
Wizard SWAT team.
And what was the other one? What did I say?
Diablo 4.
Yeah, but like what did I actually write? Because it
Dialogue and payoff.
Yes,
in video
okay.
games.
So I beat Diablo.
Already?
It is so short.
Really?
It is
So it's a good thing I didn't buy it.
insanely quick.
Yeah.
The story.
Well, that's all I would have like played.
Well, kind of.
Okay.
So I played like the main storyline.
Okay.
Cliffhanger still.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
With Mephisto?
Yeah, Mephisto, yeah.
Mephisto?
It's good. I actually very much liked. I think it did some actually cooler things than even the main game.
Okay.
I was worried that I was going to get sick of the woods in the jungle area, but I'm like, this is actually kind of a cool, like they do some really neat things in it. And I was really on board with everything that they did.
Yeah.
I think there are some cool moments in there. I think there's some like, wait, what? You know, like I like all of it. I think the story overall was kind of like, meh. 3 did it. Like whenever they did the 3's story, it's better. I think they're going to milk this a little bit. I think they're going to maybe do some more DLCs. Or wait, we can get $40 every time we do this. That's a little meh. But overall, it was like, okay, it's pretty good. The dialogue was okay. But when I talk about payoff, it's like, I don't know why games do this, where it's like they do this like, oh, then this person dies. And it's like, cool, I just met them like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I'm exaggerating, but it's like, even this was like let's call it a 3-4 hour campaign, maybe, right? Which is usually how long the seasons last. So I don't like this. This had a lot more like set pieces, and I think it did a lot of like camera work. So it was like a lot more engaging.
Yeah,
but still, 4-hour game doesn't give me a lot of time to care about this new character I met or this person or this thing of like, oh, okay, this thing happened. And again, I don't want to spoil anything, but it's just like. Diablo, it's hard to keep track of a lot of people. So it's like, oh, this guy died. Cool. Who was he again? Oh, I should be really mad. Because like my character was like, do you remember who Pavara is? Pavara?
Is that a girl?
Yep.
Is that the daughter?
So that's see, I don't even remember her name.
There was a
she's
mom
the main girl.
and a daughter.
Yeah, so the daughter has the soul stone of Mephisto, so that's the whole thing.
So you're talking about the mom then that died?
No. I'm talking about the bald black chick that went down to hell. That's part of the church.
Dude, I don't. Yeah.
She's a big thing. There's a new guy that's part of the church, and like you're like terrible to her, and she like you are just like, screw you, I hate you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like trying to rack my brain like,
what did she do to us?
Yeah. I was like, was it that bad?
Yeah.
Like I thought we were kind of on the same side.
Yeah.
So it was just like, they really want you to feel some things that I think they just took too long to get there without you, especially because this is like season 5 or 6 now.
Yeah.
So it's like, I've skipped the campaign every time. Like I'm not going to redo the campaign. I did it like 3 times early on. I don't remember it.
Yeah.
So it's just like a lot of that stuff just wasn't paying off, and I wasn't really feeling that much.
Yeah.
That all being said, there are some very cool moments and cool, like I actually, we just got done talking about how like I didn't really think Diablo did anything with the music. There was one section that I think they put the music in, and it worked really well, and I legitimately noticed it, and I was like, this is a great theme as you're running through this one area. Again, thought of you, where I'm like, I can't wait to see if you notice it or care about it or whatever, if you even played at this point. But the campaign was like 4 hours. Now there's like a whole new mercenary modes. There are all these extra like side quests. I didn't do any side quests that apparently expand some stuff. So like there's a lot more to it that I haven't done. I just kind of like mainlined that initial campaign. And then I went from like level 1 to I want to say 50 just through the campaign. Level cap 60. So that, just doing the main campaign gets you like there.
Yeah.
In the last 10 levels, do some side quests, do whatever you want. And they dropped it from 100 to 60. And now there's 300, I think 300 Paragon levels where, those, I don't think you mess with the boards and stuff.
Yeah,
but like,
I did.
Okay.
Yep.
There's 300 of those now, and you can kind of do whatever you want. Now all of those go to your characters and stuff. So because they dropped that level cap, I have one of every class at level 50, and they put all your Paragon points together. So I'm at 201 Paragon now. So I'm 100 levels from like the cap.
Dang, dude.
Which is good.
Yeah.
But then I'll have all the characters. The new character is just the monk from Diablo 3.
Yeah.
So I liked that. I think she's kind of weak right now, so we'll see how that goes. But I think overall it's a good expansion. I bought the big boy edition because I was like, I love Diablo. I'll do the collectors.
Right.
That was probably a mistake, considering I could have bought the PC version and the PlayStation version, because you do have to buy the expansion on any console you want to play it on.
Yeah.
So it shows my character, but I can't start my character on PlayStation because you can't play that class.
But the game works on both.
The main game, so I can play like my normal character. Yeah.
Right.
I just can't do any of the new content, which is like a whole other section in the South.
Right.
But it's cool. I think overall it's very good.
The new modes are locked behind the new expansion?
Yes.
Like the mercenary
yes
mode
and no. So the mercenaries, yes.
Okay.
Because those are, if you're playing by yourself, you can hire mercenaries, which they had in Diablo 3. It's not really new, but like...
It seems like they're bringing a lot of stuff back from Diablo 3.
Yeah, and they're using Diablo 2, where Mephisto was like the main... There's a lot of things. The cool thing with the mercenaries is you get two of them. One is like one that actually travels with you, and you can actually pick their abilities, and they help you out and do different things. And you also get you can pick one of the mercenaries to be reinforcements, which is you can actually always have the reinforced guy, even if you play with other people, which is new. So it just makes you that much more powerful, and you get extra abilities and different things like that. And then there's like a bartering system with them, and you actually get like a rapport with them and stuff. That's a new system I haven't touched yet. Yeah. There are Rift Walkers now, where it's just a big demon with a big like portal on his back, and if you and a group of people can like bring him down, then you can go through the portal and get some extra stuff there, which is cool.
Cool.
Infinite like rifts to play, so you don't have to do nightmare dungeons constantly. Helltide's up all the time now. They completely reworked all of the inventory stuff. They reworked even like the loading screen. Like now it's not like dudes sitting around the campfire. It's you pick it. It looks a lot more like Knights of the Old Republic, like the MMO panels of like pick this class, and it kind of details out what the class is and who they are and what they're all about and stuff like that. So they're taking some UI design from that.
I like that.
So there's a lot of they pulled in like runes again from Diablo 2, so it's like they're pulling things back and giving them a little bit of a polish. A lot of quality of life updates and stuff like that. So like overall, it's really, really cool. It's a kind of a gray line or like a kind of blurry line where it's like, well, a lot of this stuff they kind of already did in the last season. So like it was already good, but people are kind of conflating it with like, oh, it's the new expansion. Look at all of this stuff. Like, okay, but like this isn't actually the new expansion. It's just people are coming back to the game and they just think that it's all because of the new expansion.
Right,
even though a lot of the quality of life like there's plenty of new stuff in the expansion, but a lot of it is already like, hey, this was already kind of cool. They already brought this in. Like, yeah, it brings other stuff, but I think overall it's not as different as it was whenever Diablo 3 did it when they did like Act 5 and did the whole thing. I don't know. Overall, I think it's a positive. But for you, like if you don't like the end game stuff or you don't want to do any of the side quests, you're just looking at for the
I don't
campaign.
Like it. It's not my favorite thing. And it's really time consuming. Like I'd rather just do other things.
I could literally summarize the entire main campaign and get you up to speed in like 5 sentences. So it's not like,
yeah,
we'll catch up. But that's it. It's good.
That's good.
So there's that part, and then Tactical Breach Wizards.
Yep.
Which is a let's call it like XCOM-ish style game, where you breach a room and you have like your different guys and they have different abilities and stuff, and they look like military, but they just use spells instead of like guns and stuff, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And it's like almost like little puzzles on how to like get through stuff, which is cool. I think the UI could maybe be a little bit more clear and stuff like that, and like the art style's hit or miss depending on if you like super lo-fi stuff. But the reason why that game is so good is I was struck by just how well the writing is. Like it's like very sarcastic, and it's like you get to pick your responses and stuff like that, and it's very quippy back and forth. But a lot of the time when characters quip at each other in a video game, it's like cringy. Like it's just like, okay, like they're trying to be edgy or trying to be sarcastic and cool.
Yeah.
And it's just like eye rolling.
Yeah.
In this game, for whatever reason, it was just like really hitting with me where I'm like, oh, that's funny. Oh, okay, that's kind of like, that's clever. Like they're just like, just really well done. And I need to dig into it to see like what other games have they written or like what other things. Cause like I can't put my finger on it. Like I feel like I've had that type of humor before, and for the life of me, I can't think of the game. But it was just very, like, it just struck me as like very, very
maybe
good
like
writing.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, maybe it's all typed though. It's not, none of it's voice acted.
Okay, it's
you know, like, so it's a little.
But you have that kind of their group, but they're kind of ribbing on each other all the time, and
yeah,
you know.
I think this is just yeah. I guess that's one of them. I don't know. Like it's not. This is, I guess, a higher intelligence than that. I don't want to rip on Guardians. No.
Yikes.
I don't want to rip on Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's a stupid dumb game,
no,
and
it's
I'm
funny,
and I'm
it's
stupid
like
and dumb for bringing it up.
It's like
I'm
if me
sorry.
and you are ripping on each other. That's
Please
fine.
enlighten me on why this is.
I don't know. It's very
eloquent.
It's not eloquent. It's they're just every line is like a smart jab at the other character.
Yeah, it's like a soliloquy. Every single.
It was just a lot of games don't do that. So when a game does it, it's like, oh, this is special.
Gotcha.
And very rarely, and okay, this is where our roles are reversed. Very rarely, if I'm like not really super hot on the gameplay, because the gameplay, it's good, it's interesting, it's fun, it's like something like kind of different-ish. But there are plenty of games that kind of do that grid-based, okay, if you shoot this guy, you know what the enemy is going to do, you do your stuff, they do theirs, and you try to like plan it out, and it's like a puzzle game. Clear the guys, move on to the next room.
Yep.
Plenty of games do that. Plenty of games do that really, really well. I don't think this game, I'm not super far in this game, but it didn't do anything new on the offset, like on the outset that I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like this is special. But the dialogue and the immediate immersion of this is a cool set, like modern wizards. It's a cool setting. The dialogue's really cool. The mystery's there, and it's just like it just sets it up very quickly. Of like the very beginning of the game, there's this like dude that like sets the police building on fire, and he was like, "I'm looking for so and so," and you're like,
"Who's that?"
Okay, well, I don't know who that is, and he's like, "Oh, really?" And you're like, "Yeah," and he's like, damn. And then you like shoot him out a window or whatever, but it's just like what? You know?
Yeah.
And then it unfolds and it goes, and it's just like, and I didn't even do that justice in any stretch. Like it's just like even something that simple is just good. And you play as like a private eye who's with this other guy, and there's like a prequel thing. It drew me in like very quickly from a story perspective, which does not typically happen. Usually it's the gameplay and then the story kind of weaves it in.
Right.
This was opposite, where I'm like, I'll play through these like puzzle games where I'm like, I'm not really connecting with it, but like the characters are good enough and the dialogue's good enough and the story's interesting enough. I'm like, okay, let's see where this goes. Yeah.
Interesting. Nice.
Yeah. Which is a good thing. So I really enjoyed
Did you
that.
finish it or?
No. I just started it.
So you're gonna finish it out then.
Yeah, I got great reviews on Steam. It's overwhelmingly positive. Like it's just like across the board.
Right.
And I think it got pretty high on OpenCritic too.
Really?
So it's like 80s, upper 80s. I think it's.
Oh
up there,
wow.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna look it up while you go to the next thing. But yeah.
Yeah. No. The other game that I was playing today, Backyard Baseball.
Yeah.
Came out on Steam.
All right.
My childhood is back. Backyard Baseball's out. The new Dragon Ball Z is out. So my childhood part 2 is in full effect. Now, I thought, based on the trailer of Backyard Baseball, they were going to remake it, or it was going to be like a remaster or something of the original.
86, by the way. It's a red. Continue.
Yeah. How many reviews?
Ooh.
Yeah, that's right. I knew you wouldn't check that.
20.
Yeah.
That's respectable. That's respectable.
What's your line? I think I've asked you this
20.
before. 20 is your line?
Yeah.
I'm looking at like 40 to 50.
Okay.
But that means it's like you got a big sample size.
So mine's 20, and then you check Steam. And if Steam's overwhelmingly positive, I'll check out.
Well,
how many
what
reviews
are the reviewers on OpenCritic? Like, are there any big names? Like, is IGN's on that, and PC Gamer?
PC Gamer gave it an 88 out of 100.
Damn. PC Gamer's like my new favorite, dude. I kind of check them out.
Yeah, IGN and GameSpot are 8s. Shack News is a 9 out of 10. Yeah.
I'll do 20 with big outlets. I think that
I see what you're saying.
Well, it's just, sometimes you have like, I don't know, 15 to 20, and it's just like individuals or very small things. Yeah. So it's kind of a niche. And while there's nothing wrong with that, of course, I sometimes find that those smaller, maybe more niche games get a little bit more praise from those kind of reviewers.
Because they get it for free, or they...
Well, either that, or it's like, I don't know. Sometimes I think maybe some people are kind of a little bit more harsh on the larger games, and they you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. Bigger sample size, the better, in my opinion.
Well, here's the thing. On Steam, overwhelmingly positive reviews, so 98%.
Yeah, right.
It's 5,610
yeah.
people reviewing.
Yeah,
so
look,
it's like,
man,
okay.
that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, Backyard Baseball.
Sorry, yes.
Greatest game of all time.
Okay.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
Top 10?
Well, here's... did it make my top 10?
Where'd you put it in your
it's
list?
definitely top 20.
Yeah.
Wait, do you know the answer?
No, I downloaded the art for it, so which means it has to be within your top 20, 25.
Oh, perfect.
Something like that.
Yeah, so it's somewhere there.
Yeah.
Although I think
and that's your initial list. If you moved it around, then I have no idea.
No, whatever you have is whatever I have.
No, but I did that before you told me you were done.
Okay, well, it's still up there somewhere. But I think my favorite was Backyard Baseball 2001, because that's when they introduced the pro players. This is the original 97 year I was born. Just the OG kids. No pros. Yeah.
Pros aren't hanging out with the little kids anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even going to touch that.
Makes sense.
What a game, dude. Just so much fun. They didn't change. Like, they didn't really change.
No
anything.
modernization or anything like that.
Really?
So okay.
So the printer works. You used to be able to print out different screens. Now that works again. Like,
wait, what?
Yeah, like if you're looking at the stats for your season, you could like print it out.
How? Okay, you could do that in the old game.
Oh yeah, in the OG.
Okay.
Yeah.
How?
What do you mean?
Was it a PC game?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's a PC game. There's always a PC game.
I got
It's
you.
an OG PC game.
Nice.
So, yeah, so they have that now. Like, obviously, the emulator that didn't work, so now it does.
Nah, that's awesome.
Which is sick.
Yeah.
And but it's like pretty much the same. I don't even know if they touched the graphics because it looks maybe a little bit. It runs well, runs smooth, like better than the emulator, obviously. But it's the OG game. They haven't really touched anything, bro. It's like the OG game, which
it was what, $10?
$8.
$8. Yeah.
So I was playing that all day today.
So worth
I was
it?
having a blast.
Worth it for $8?
Dude.
Just like a trip down memory lane.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. Pablo Sanchez, still the GOAT.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy is just the greatest athlete of all time. Yeah. And then they announced 5 other ones they're coming out with. So they're coming out with Baseball 2001, which is my favorite. Coming out with soccer, which is, I love soccer. There's a football one.
Is soccer going to be better than Strikers, though?
My
you
opinion.
think? Oh, really?
I don't know, dude, but it's all nostalgia for me.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's
fair.
like,
okay.
You probably hate it, obviously.
But you never know.
But I don't know. I am in a spot right now where work is brutal.
Yeah.
And I just want to kind of relive my childhood a little bit and remember the days where I could just sit in front of my PlayStation 1.
Yep.
No responsibilities.
Homework was the biggest chore that you had.
No, not at that point. I wasn't even in school.
Okay.
Maybe I was in like kindergarten, first grade or whatever.
Nice.
So I didn't really have homework.
Okay.
I was just flaming cacti as Spyro.
It's pretty good.
And charging soldiers with my horns.
Yeah.
And they would moon you?
Yeah.
That was amazing, dude. Yeah. Then they'd hide under their little tents and you flame the tents and they'd be like either scared or mooning you again.
You literally charring them. Yeah.
Spyro's a great game. Anyways, but Backyard Baseball was on PC.
That's awesome.
So I played it on PC. I had some PC games and then I had PlayStation 1 was my first console. Anyways, so that's fun. I'm really looking forward to those two, but I got to get to Dragon Ball Z. Now that I have Yakuza out of the way, I think my next game is going to be Astrobot, so I should be able to knock it out this weekend. Or at least this week.
Yeah, you could do that.
so we can talk about it next week.
20 hours?
10? Oh, you put 20, but you 100%.
20.
I'm probably not going to 100% unless I fall in love with the game.
Yeah.
But hey, man, maybe it's going to hit that Spyro itch.
Oof. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's pretty good.
Well, I was talking to you about something.
Yeah.
We were talking about Spyro.
Yeah, you were like,
and you're like,
how good is this and this and this? I'm like, if only what game did that. And
Yeah,
then it's like, hey, Astrobot's pretty...
Well, Spyro did it first, though.
Yeah. Well, that's because you were talking about all the different worlds. And you were like, you go to this world. It's completely different than this one. And this one's...
Well, it is.
Like, I know.
But it was so creative. It was like...
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, though, Astrobot, some of the worlds are based off their other properties, though.
Yes, but you'll get it when you see it.
All right. I won't say anything then.
It is, but it's not.
I was going to say, like, Spyro is literally like, we just got to come up with levels.
Yeah.
But the level design is so good.
Sure.
This old game, it holds up so well.
Yeah.
We were talking about Clifftown.
Yeah.
Where you go in, and there's like 3 parts of the map. I'm going to rehash it for the audience, so I apologize. Okay. But there's like 3 parts in the map where you start in this town. You got to navigate through these like tight corridors and alleyways and stuff, and then you scale this cliff and fight up the cliff to get to the end. And you're on this cliff, and then you're overlooking everything that you just did, and then you see in the distance,
as he puts his hand up to his eyes,
this huge desert over this river, and you're like, can I fly there? And then you just see that one glimmer.
Yeah.
It's like, that's got to be a gem.
It's just one pixel.
And then you do that glide, and the sound design's great. It's like the wind's going through.
Yeah.
It's that long glide, and you make it, and you're like, holy crap, I can be over here. It's great. What a great game. Spyro is one of my favorites.
As he's running through there, and then you hear it whenever he hits the invisible...
and it shakes, and then the birds come down, and you got to flame them twice, I think.
Yeah, depending. Yeah.
Right? Because don't they lose their whatever?
Yeah.
Maybe only once. I forget.
Usually once.
I just remember in that stage, it's the big lady with the red
like
dress.
Slaps her little her husband or whatever, charging you.
I don't know, dude. I guess. Maybe. Is that where you got that idea for that one D&D game?
The what?
There's this one D&D game you ran where like the wife was this
big orc, and it's just like a little gnome or whatever. This is husband.
Gnome artist.
Nah, that was different, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a great game. And then you have to flame the pot to get the gem out of it.
Yeah. You have to jump over it, but you can't jump in the pot or you hurt yourself. You could actually drown in the pot.
Yeah, it's just like this purple liquid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If only it was the second game, though, where you can swim. Anyways, Spyro's the best. So I was reliving my childhood again. Long story long.
Yeah, but you got that. You got Dragon Ball. You got Metaphor.
Yeah, I bought it. So I spent $150.
I was about to text you and be like, dude, I love how the activity, because sometimes I just go on Steam and see what like friends are doing.
Yeah,
and it's like, John has these 3 games. I'm like, dude, you just dropped $100.
I know, dude, but like, what am I supposed to do? I was checking to see if Metaphor was going to be on Game Pass. It's not.
For me, I was actually going to text you, and I should have known better that you always check Game Pass. I was going to text you and joke with you and be like, dude, I don't know why you got these games. They're all on Game Pass. But you always check.
I checked.
It's not worth it. Yeah.
I don't like that you would have done that, but I checked.
Metaphor has a demo. You should have done the prequel demo.
You know I'm going to play it.
Yeah, but you can at least test it out for free.
Nah.
Okay.
I'm a committer.
I am not, so I got the demo.
It has such high reviews, I have to play it.
Okay. That's another 100 hours.
Well, look, I love Persona.
Yeah. Sure.
I thought it wasn't going to do well. I was like confident it was going to, like, maybe not bad, but I was like at least purple or less.
Yeah, I agree.
And the fact that it's like
93,
I'm very surprised.
93,
very
92.
surprised. 92. Yeah.
92. It's one under Final Fantasy.
Yes. Yeah. As it should be. No, I'm just kidding.
Dude, I'm trying to get back into that. That's a tough.
Yeah,
that's a tough.
I don't foresee you finishing that game.
I'm really trying. That's I completely swapped over.
But the problem is you're gonna brute force yourself through this game, and then you're just gonna tell me how shit the game is because you brute force yourself through the game.
Yeah. Well,
I'd rather you not play it.
I know, but I would at least. I don't want you to be like, oh well, you didn't play the game, so you don't have an opinion. I want to play the game.
I never say that.
I know. I'm just kidding.
I always give you a chance.
I truly like. It was a life-changing experience for you. I want to. At least talk intelligently on Game.
I love the game though. It's one of the
that's
in my top 20.
Yeah, it's one of the top-rated games. I have to play it.
It's so good. I just love.
How can I not do that? You're playing Astrobot. It's not my fault that I pick a 20-hour game and you pick a 70.
That is literally your fault. and my fault.
No, it's not. I'm
It's
saying
our
it's not my
choice.
fault in terms of like what I like versus what you like. I feel like there's a thing where you can go to the other person. And
Yeah,
be
but
like, hey,
yours stack up. Like,
I love this.
It's
I think you should-
Astrobot. It's Shogun.
Yeah, but I think Astrobot
Dave
actually.
the Diver. You just chip at me a little
but
bit.
Dave
You know
the
what I'm saying?
Diver,
I
they're
love
good.
Dave the Diver, man. That was a great game.
I
that was a
think
vibe.
There are certain things. Shogun Showdown is not going to win Game of the Year. I think it deserves to be like just talked about.
Yeah.
I don't think it's Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Astrobot, I think, has a very good shot at being Game of the Year.
I
So
agree
think
with
that-
you based
that's
on
where
the
you-
reception.
But similarly,
I'm not arguing with it,
I
though.
think Final Fantasy has a good shot too.
I think it's going to be a Lord of the Rings. They're going to save all the awards for the third part.
Didn't it get a whole bunch for remake, or did it not?
No.
What did it go up against? Probably Last of Us Remaster 3 or something.
Ooh, no. What? That was 2020.
Yeah,
That was
maybe God of War.
No, God of War is 2018 and 2022.
Yeah.
2020 was. Ooh, man, why am I blanking?
You want me to look it up? You sure it was 2020?
Yeah, because it was COVID. 100%. It was definitely 2020. It wasn't Horizon or anything like that.
Last of Us Part 2.
Oh, that's when Last of Us Part 2 came out?
Last of Us
original?
Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima.
Okay, yeah.
Final Fantasy 7 Remake.
Yeah. So Last of Us Part 2 won.
Doom Eternal. Miles Morales. Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Animal Crossing New Horizons. Fall Guys. Cyberpunk came out.
Did it?
Demon Souls Remastered.
Wait, did Cyberpunk?
Cyberpunk 2077.
Cyberpunk was supposed to come out in 2019, but they delayed it to early 2020? Is that
Yeah.
okay? Because I always
Or it came out in December of 2019, and then it got
no, because I remember. Well, maybe it did. Maybe you're right. Yeah.
Hades.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Hades should have won.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Yeah.
Dude, this was a stacked year.
Yeah, Final Fantasy got trashed.
Valorant
It didn't win anything.
Valorant's out.
It won best soundtrack, maybe.
Yeah, that's wild. What a great year.
Yeah.
Holy
so yeah,
cow.
to answer your question, no.
Yeah. Well, but here's the thing. It kind of makes sense. These are some like crazy games.
They're
to
great
come out
games.
here.
Yeah.
I still
I'm not
gotta,
arguing with
Ghost
you.
of Tsushima.
Huh?
If I can't get into Final Fantasy, I might do Tsushima, even though that didn't come out this year. I just really want to play that game. I enjoyed it.
Just play it.
Yeah, I want to play Final
I'm
Fantasy.
not forcing you
Dude,
to do
I already
it.
did the whole thing. I updated my console. I
Whatever.
downloaded
You're gonna
the
do what you're
update.
gonna do.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you.
I
one way or the
gotta
other.
get to the bikinis. They are not in their bikinis yet. I need to
Dude,
get there.
I love that game.
You text me last night, like, hey, where are you at? I'm like, I don't know. Tifa's in the shower. Like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Cloud is I hate Cloud. I hate him so much.
I know you do. All right. Well, I don't know. You had some other stuff. I don't know if you wanted to talk
what
about.
else
You
did
had
I
like
have?
Nintendo stuff. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Nintendo announced new hardware. An alarm clock.
Oh, okay.
It's called Alarmo.
Okay.
Yup.
What are they doing?
I don't know. It's
What
a
are they doing?
It's a red alarm clock.
Okay.
It's called Alarmo.
Yeah.
It has like 5 games pre-programmed in that will be like, oh, do you want like Mario Odyssey to wake you up or something?
Okay.
And it has buttons, but it's not supposed to be buttons.
Who's this for?
thing. I don't know.
Why?
I don't know. I have no answers for
I
you.
just want to see. We talk about the whiteboard room a lot.
Yeah.
Which, for anyone who's not familiar, is this prevailing theory that there's this shadowy group in every organization at the top.
Yeah.
Where they're drawing everything on the whiteboard and they're calculating every possible move. What does Nintendo's whiteboard room look like? How do they get to alarm clock?
This is Nintendo just being pranksters and just like, you know what's gonna really screw with them? Like if this came out on April Fool's Day, I'd be like, oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Like it's funny, they make fun of themselves.
Right.
But it's like, nope, this is a thing.
It's like cut to the guy asking Diablo or Blizzard.
It's $100.
Yeah.
It's $99.
What?
It's $100. It's not an OLED screen either. So if you actually look at the pictures, and this is what kills me, this is where my thing would be.
Yeah.
It's a round clock.
Yeah.
With just a black LCD screen in it.
Yeah.
So like it's two-tone, which always drives me crazy. Like if you're gonna do a black on black, make it OLED. Otherwise, I'm out.
Okay.
And literally, it starts waking you up, and it says like one of the songs from like say Mario Odyssey.
Okay.
And it slowly comes in, it wakes you up, and it's like, hey John, get up, man. and you go, and you like move, right? And if you move, you hear the little Mario coin, like the tring, every time you're moving, and it's just shring, 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 shring. So it's like as you're moving, it's just so annoying as it's like doing that. Or if you want to hear the squishing sound of Splatoon, like the goopy stuff, like the like whatever, that you can hear that every time you move because it's motion censored, and you can wave at it, and it'll like slowly go away, and that's like snooze, right? And it'll come back. I was like, hey, John, you gotta get up, man. You gotta come on. And you're like, nah, no. And you kind of move, and it keeps dinging the coins and stuff and being super annoying. And if you just don't get up, then Bowser comes. And I forget how they word it, but it's like, it'll be a little bit more persuasive. And it's like, what? And then eventually you say, this sucks. And you get out of bed, and then it like cheers for you whenever you get out of bed.
This doesn't seem real.
The funny thing is, people are like, oh, where do you have to put it? It's like, it can't be, it has to be within like 8 inches of like because it's motion sensor, so it has to be positioned like next to your bed at a certain point and everything, and it has to be all this perfect thing.
There's no way this goes wrong.
The only thing that I think it has going for it is it's USB-C. Like I was reading the specs and reading the thing, and I was like, what the heck is going on? So that's the just weird and wild stuff. The other thing is there's a secret playtest that everyone's speculating about and trying to figure out what the heck is going on with the playtest stuff. And people are saying like, okay, because like I think there's like 10,000 or 100,000. I think it's only 10,000 people that they put this out to of like online Nintendo Online expansion pass people, and they're like, hey, if you have something that's connected to the internet, hardwired in, preferably, it's like a 2 gig download, blah 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 blah. So people are saying like, oh, maybe this is like GameCube, bringing that collection into the Nintendo Online thing or whatever. I think people were talking about the Miiverse too, but that's going to be going on. So people are excited about that. I think that's going on the 20th of this month.
Okay.
But again, this month is when Switch was initially announced for the March release. So like people are like, hey, Nintendo, Switch 2, right? Like you're gonna announce it this month and you're gonna release it in March. That's the thing, right? And they're like, no, Alarmo. It's just like, oh my god.
Great move by Nintendo as always.
Yeah. So that's the news.
Yeah, I'm good to end on that.
Okay,
I don't
fine.
think we can top it.
No.
So
push other topics to next week. That's fine.
Yeah, we're gonna have Matt Damon on next week.
Yeah.
Little Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
Humor. Anyway, so if you made it this far, we appreciate you. If you got to the Alarmo, spam the comments with check us out, couchcompany.games. Everything's on there. We'll update the ratings that we rated today. And there will be more to come, as there's a lot of games we still have left to get to. Exciting times here at the Couch Company Podcast. We're going to be here, same time, same place next week. Thanks for joining us on the couch.